Doctor?
Doctor.
I don't know if we're going to solve anything, but we haven't done a freestyle in a long time.
We have not.
We're always so consumed with talking about subjects.
Well, there's so many subjects that are out there that, like, I mean, we'll mention something to one another and be like, wait, what is that? And then have to dive into it. So, I mean, we don't like to go into all of these things without a little bit of, I won't say knowledge, but information.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's times where we'll kind of speculate on something and regurgitate like a few details we heard, and then you hear it back and you're like, fuck, I was wrong about every piece of that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many videos that you can watch and be like, that's not right. That's wrong. At least I do anyways, because I know so much fucking useless information about, and most of the time I'm wrong too, so.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at catching other people when they do it. What a fucking retard. He didn't do his research at all.
Have you ever watched the fucking Y-Files, dude?
Dummy. AJ doesn't get anything wrong.
No, yeah. I'm saying they need to watch his show to get the information correct.
I'm just saying, if anybody ever wants to say that AJ got something wrong, I'm going to tell them, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. He's a doctor.
He is a learned doctor.
Speaking of doctor, did you see our doctor smocks?
Yeah. We're going to have to... We'll do something with them.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what we're going to do with them. Because even though I got those, and then I found a video of guys doing the same thing that we were talking about doing. With
fucking losers!
And then they're wearing doctor smocks, and I'm like, fuck! We're still doing
doctors?
No.
It doesn't make sense, though.
No, we're doctors.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
They could be, I don't know.
Probably.
It was a good video. I'll give them credit on it.
They're doing what your idea actually was?
Yeah, but it was more like they did like 1 or 2 videos and they talked about like 4 or 5 different things, versus ours are going to be one video on one subject.
Yeah.
Single issue bills. The one thing that they said that I 100% agree with is that if you're using any app on your phone for ghost hunting, you're already in the wrong. Because they're pre-programmed. Like, if it has ghost or paranormal or spirit in the fucking title of the app, it's already going to be predispositioned to give you shit that's going to seem like evidence.
Yeah.
So, don't use apps for ghost hunting.
I thought about downloading one of those, like the, what is that, the thing that has like a bank of words.
An Ovilus?
An Ovilus, yeah. And I was like, well, I want a bank of like all random words, not just like ghost, spirit, apparition.
Yeah. I'm alive.
Devil.
Demon. It's a demon!
Succubus. It said succubus. Hold on.
That'd be trippy to get raped by a succubus.
Yeah.
But it's not cheating.
No.
So it happens, and you just tell your wife, babe, succubus was totally riding my meat last night.
Yeah. Totally.
She's like, what's that bitch's name? Succubus.
Steve?
Isn't it a succubus is a female and the incubus is a male?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So that makes that a weird choice for a band name.
Yeah. Unless he is the succubus.
I don't know. He's kind of androgynous.
Or if he's the incubus.
He's kind of androgynous, though.
He's the sexual demon.
Yeah, he could be. It's those tall, skinny dudes you got to worry about.
Yeah. It's ratios, I guess. It seems like a huge dongle.
Huge Tom Dongle. Yeah, it's those tall, skinny guys that got a fucking tree root on them.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. Don't have that problem.
Me neither.
Never have, you know. Probably never will.
I don't know. Maybe Maybe get it blasted with some of that UFO radiation, it might grow.
Yeah. Like radiate the shit.
Just right here.
I'm gonna put a lead vest.
Cut a hole and just stick your dick out of it.
Ready.
Joke's on you. It's like the radiation they use for chemotherapy and shit. Shrinks it. Fuck!
Well, that fucking backfired.
Son of a bitch.
There's one thing that I saw online that I thought was an interesting idea. I think it's totally fucking fake. But apparently, Earth is supposed to lose gravity for 7 seconds on August 12th, 2026. Have you heard of this?
I did. Don't buy it, like, at all. 7 seconds of no gravity on Earth. We think of the ramification as like, oh, we're all just going to float for 7 seconds and then come back down to Earth. That's not what would happen if Earth lost gravity for 7 seconds. It would be catastrophic.
Yeah. You would probably fly like way off into the air somewhere.
Well, not only would you float,
Everything.
so would cars.
Yeah.
And land masses.
Everything that's not tied down.
Oh, and water, which there's a lot of on this planet. Can you imagine the water just gravitating up and then dropping? What happens? You're going to have a fucking massive tidal wave.
Yeah, I told Stitch this, and then I was like, I can just imagine you going outside, tying your waist to a tree or something with a shotgun just so you can fucking blast other people out of the sky.
But he's going to... But he's going to especially target people that say the word goy. Has he got curly hair? Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I thought it was something interesting. Apparently, 2 black holes are supposed to collide and make a blip in gravity throughout our solar system or something in the radius of our Earth, and it'll just kind of... almost like a ripple of gravity through space.
I kind of feel like if that was a real thing, we wouldn't be hearing it from random people on TikTok. We would hear it from NASA.
Yeah. I had to look it up, though. I'm just glad that we're not going to be working that day in case it does happen. Because I would hate to have to, like, fucking slam back down to the ground and then, like, restart all the lines.
Well, if gravity suddenly stops for 7 seconds, starting the line is going to be the least of your worries.
Yeah.
I would just want to be like in an area where there's nothing else that can also fly up.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine like a stack of pallets just starts floating around and then they all come down. Everything comes down at once. Now you're crushed.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. Would really not be fun.
Not very cash money.
The 7 seconds might be a little bit...
Whoa!
And then that 2 seconds after that would fucking suck.
Knowing my luck, for that 7 seconds, my feet would leave the floor by this much and that was it. Do you imagine you're finally like, oh, dude.
I'm doing it!
You're floating around and you're like trying to flip and like backspin and do all this cool shit, and then gravity kicks in, boom, head to the concrete.
Yeah.
Now you're a quadriplegic.
It'd be like one of those dreams where you can fly, but you can't remember how, and you keep on trying. You ever have those?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And I've tried everything. I've tried getting a running start at it. I've tried running down the hill and jump.
Oh yeah, I have to do this.
Superpowers with a catch. You can fly, but you can only fly while you're jerking your dick. You better learn how to get good with both hands, because when one gets tired, you still need to land.
Yeah. Hold on, I need to go down to the ground really quick.
Oh, fuck.
Whew. Now I'm fucking stranded in Sedona.
Well, it is actually pretty healing out here, but everybody's seen me crank my hog.
Healing energy. Everybody's giving me disgusted looks.
It's all these.
What would you think about that though? Like, if you saw some guy fucking cranking it, but he's flying, would you be appalled or like amazed?
Amazed. Be like, how do I attain this ability?
Like,
wait, if he can do it, I can do it.
just think happy thoughts.
Next thing you know, you're not allowed within fucking 500 yards of a school zone.
Yeah. You think that maybe if you were flying like that, you would just fly over a bunch of people and you just see random people like start cranking it too, trying to ascend.
That's how you would know, like, these are the smart people. It's the ones that are like, oh my god, they're gonna fucking try that.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are disgusted are the closed-minded idiots.
Like, hey, I see you.
But is the catch like you have to edge the whole time?
You would have to.
Once you finish, do you just plummet?
You'd be stranded.
Or are you just like...
For at least 4 or 5 minutes.
Or are you just like, cranking your limp wiener? Like, where's the dynamic there?
Yeah, would it have to be like you're like...
Do you have to be fully erect?
These are questions that need answering. We didn't know we needed to solve something in this one, but
Yeah.
Apparently we do.
Hey, Marvel, if you need some new superhero ideas, we got you. The Crankmaster.
The Crankster.
He can fly at supersonic speeds while jacking his dick.
He just walks into the room, you know him because he's got one big ass arm and a small regular arm.
His like emblem on his chest is like a cum shot.
Just like a...
Did you ever watch I Think You Should Leave on Netflix?
I still haven't watched it.
There's one of the skits is Tim Robinson goes to like a haunted ghost tour.
Oh, I did see that one.
You did see that?
Yeah.
Any of these fuckers ever just like come out of the fucking ceiling and just drop a huge fucking cum shot? No, I don't think that's happening. Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I was working with Scott one night, and like we kept on watching different, I don't know if we were watching full episodes, but just like different skits from some of the episodes on every other break, but that was the one that I saw. And the one where he keeps on eating the other guy keeps on eating his food at dinner.
That's a good one. Or the one where the guy, he created like a vacuum for when you're suffocating because you got food stuck down your throat, a hot dog specifically. Because he was at work and he was like sitting in his desk and he's about to eat this hot dog. And they're like, we have to have a meeting right now. He's like, but you can't skip lunch. So he shoves the hot dog down his sleeve. So he's just like, and then he chokes on the hot dog. Yeah. That's a fucking good one too. That show's actually really funny.
I keep on like, every time you talk about it, I was like, oh, I need to watch that. And then I go into fucking nowhere land in my brain.
You're like, fuck, I gotta study for fucking Arizona.
Yeah, Sedona, remember. Not Bradshaw Ranch, Sedona. Yeah, there's so many. Does he have another show on Netflix?
I'm pretty sure he just has the one. I know he's done some movies and stuff.
Maybe it's a movie that I keep seeing. Like, I'll see it and like, oh, I should watch that. Oh, that's not it. There's another one on Netflix. I think it might be a movie of his.
Yeah, because there's like a movie he did with Paul Rudd where they become like best friends or whatever. I haven't watched it.
Paul Rudd would be an interesting guy to be best friends with. He seems quirky.
Yeah, he seems like he's one of those people who's like infectiously positive.
Yeah. Where
it's like if you ever saw him in a bad mood, you wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah. And all of the stuff that he does with like Will Ferrell and those guys, like, it seems like a lot of that shit is improv, and I think that he's probably genuinely a funny guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some interviews and clips of interviews with him, and he's always happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, insert Mac and me here.
So you brought a clip from your new movie. Yeah, go ahead and play it. It's the kid rolling down the hill.
Classic movie.
Dude, speaking of Will Ferrell, I have a confession to make. I don't think Will Ferrell's that funny.
I think he's very over the top and can be like annoying in a lot of his roles.
Like I will 100% give him the other guys in Step Brothers. Basically everything else he's in is not funny at all.
I thought he was fucking hilarious in Land of the Lost.
It gets overshadowed because Danny McBride's in that, and I can't fucking stand Danny McBride.
Really?
In This Is the End, he's funny because he's playing that archetype.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like meta. But everything else he's in, he's just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Even in Tropic Thunder.
Have you ever seen...
How do you be like the least funny person in fucking Tropic Thunder?
Have you ever seen The Fistfoot Way?
I don't think so.
It's worth watching. He's very annoying in that movie, but he's supposed to be. And that's like a typical Danny McBride character, I guess. But he's like a karate instructor.
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen it. Yeah. You know, and it's I question, like, am I just being fucking hateful? And it's really not. What it comes down to is that these guys have these shticks that somebody else has already done better before them. And that's the real problem I have with them. I don't have a problem with Will Ferrell or Danny McBride. It's just that, like, those roles have been played better by somebody else before.
Yeah.
So, like, Will Ferrell, the predecessor is Adam Sandler. But Adam Sandler did it in more of, like, a fun, goofy way. It wasn't just this completely over-the-top all the time, like, constantly yelling kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that comedy is like something's funny until you get over past the funny, and then it takes a while, and then all of a sudden it becomes funny again. Like you take it further and further and further, and then it gets funny again because you know that it's like this is so over the top that it's supposed to be over the top. Now it's funny. It's weird. Like I feel the same way. There's a lot of his movies that are just like dumb.
Yeah, because I remember watching Blades of Glory with Scott and Yeg, and they're laughing the whole time. I don't think I laughed at all. Like, this movie is just retarded. I get why it's funny to people, it's just not funny to me.
Yeah.
Or even Talladega Nights, where it's like, it's quotable, I'll give you that, but I didn't really laugh. I was like, this is just another Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't a Step Brothers, which was like fucking hilarious. John C. Reilly, though, is...
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he's actually a really good actor when he has the right role. The problem with John C. Reilly not getting the right roles is he's not a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
You know? Not to say he's ugly, he's just not like an Adonis. He's not fucking Brad Pitt, you know?
He's not leading man material.
I think he is. His abilities are there.
Oh, yeah.
He just doesn't look the part is the problem. Yeah. But John C. Reilly's fucking great in everything.
Yeah.
Even that stupid Dewey Cox movie. Walk Hard.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him in the fucking King Kong movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great in that.
Skull Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even roles like what is it?
The Vampire's Assistant. Boogie Nights.
Chicago, maybe, I think. He plays the sad clown.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great role.
He's tremendous.
Yeah.
So, give that guy more movies.
Give him more movies.
Let him be the fucking star.
Give his character Steve Brule a whole fucking movie. Shut it off, I'm dry.
I haven't seen that in forever.
That one where he's out eating fucking seafood in the dumpster of the Red Lobster or whatever. Fucking hilarious.
That's good. Yeah, he's one of those he's one of those actors that I feel like never really got the shot they deserved.
Yeah. Like, he got, like, it's like he got steady work as, like, a side character or whatever.
Yeah.
But in everything that I've seen him in, I've liked his performance or his characters.
But he can also balance. He can do the stupid, over-the-top, like Step Brothers type character, or the Steve Brule, and then do something serious, and it works.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing Jim Carrey tried to do for a long time, but people just resented it. Jim Carrey's actually a pretty good dramatic actor.
Yeah.
Not grade A tier, but he's good. But nobody wanted to buy it.
I think that there's probably a point in something like that where you become so famous for doing stuff so outlandishly funny that when you watch him in a dramatic role, like what was that, the Sunshine of My Mind or whatever,
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
right? Where you're just kind of waiting for him to do something funny, like make a joke, clown.
Yeah. Do the rubber face thing.
Yeah. So I think that maybe a lot of people get pigeonholed in doing the same thing over and over again, but that was a great movie.
Yeah. The Majestic, Truman Show,
Yeah.
even the Number 23.
Yeah.
Like he's good in all those movies. But yeah, people just wanted to see funny Rubber Man.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, even Truman Show was like, it seemed like it was a funny show without him being the funny man. He was like doing normal shit, but it seemed funny.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he almost played it like a paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And it fucking worked.
I wonder if you could change that movie into a thriller just by changing the score.
Changing the lighting a little bit
Yeah.
too, like make it not so bright and sunshiny, and
Give it like ominous tones of like.
somebody supercut that. Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Arnold, you know, the fucking biggest action star in the world, and he wanted to try his hand at comedy, but nobody wanted to hire him for comedy until Twins came along, and then they put him in Twins. He's fucking hilarious in that movie.
Yeah.
No, he's not just funny with the one-liners in the action. He was funny as this character.
Right.
Who was, in a way, socially inept. You know, he was raised on an island. He didn't have a whole lot of social interactions, and he took everything at kind of like a good-hearted face value.
Yeah.
Played it perfectly.
Yeah. Well, he seems like in real life, in a lot of his interviews and stuff, that he is a very playful, a very comedic person.
Yeah.
In real life. So I think that played to his skill set perfectly of like having this role of, yes, he's got the muscles and he's the action star, but playing almost an innocent, I don't want to say dumb, but like ignorant type person that doesn't really know any better. Fish Out of Water is, I love that movie.
Me too. I just watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen it in years. I was like, man, this movie is actually way funnier than I remember.
Yeah.
Because it's like, a lot of the humor is a little bit more highbrow in that way. Kind of in the same way the first Ghostbusters is really funny, but it's not like dick and fart jokes or like the over-the-top kind of characters. It's like they're telling actually funny jokes in a kind of a serious way. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't want to join the private sector. They expect results. You know, fucking great lines like that.
Yeah, doctors get it.
Doctors get it. We're fucking doctors, and we're Ghostbusters. I got a picture that proves it.
Yeah, Slimer's there. Fucking
yeah.
People, I'm sure people on the internet will probably think it's AI, but it really happened. We had our proton packs and blasters.
Yeah, just fucking taking out ghosts left and right. You're doing the Lord's work.
It was hard.
It was hard.
But we did it.
We did it. We hopped in Ecto 1.
Saved the world. I don't want to say we saved the world, but I think we saved the world.
A few times. Did you watch the newest Ghostbuster movie, Frozen?
Frozen Kingdom? Frozen Empire?
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did you also think it sucked?
Yeah. I mean, I liked it because it was a Ghostbuster movie, but it wasn't really a Ghostbuster movie. It didn't seem like.
I thought Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That's the
really
one.
Good.
They had that little ball.
No, that's Frozen Empire.
Wasn't that the newest one?
Yeah, that's the newest one. Afterlife is the one that came before it.
Yeah.
Like, that movie is really good. Like, that is a really touching love letter to the fans of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And it stayed really true to the roots, and it used a lot of nostalgia, but I was totally okay with it. Like, that movie is excellent. And Frozen Empire is like, what the You guys just took the first script that came along, didn't you?
Yeah, it seems like maybe it was a deviation to try to reboot a dying franchise or something, take it in a different direction, but I don't know. Didn't work for me.
Me neither. And there's too much CGI, and the plot was just like one contrivance to another. I mean, the characters are still cool. Like, I still like the Spangler family, even with Finn Wolfhard phoning it in the whole time. it's still, they're entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
But that movie just fucking sucked.
Yeah. Which is, like I say, almost every single movie that I've seen with Paul Rudd in, I like that movie. And,
yeah.
That was one of those ones where he was good. He did his Paul Rudd thing, but, like, I don't know.
Oh, he's great as Ant-Man, too.
Yeah. Even
in the shitty ones.
Yeah. What was was that Ant-Man and the Wasp where they go down to that other world?
Oh, that's the third one. That's Quantumania.
Oh, right.
That movie sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I like the premise. I do like the idea. And in my mind, I think that's really how all of this works. Like, atoms and everything is interconnected because we're all part of the same thing. So, I mean, to me, it makes sense that scenario is a truthful scenario, which creates the possibility for multi-dimensions within the same space.
Yeah, I 100% believe it's just a different layer of the ecosystem.
Right.
Where we're on this plane, but on a galactic level is up here, where there's a multitude of species beyond us.
We're just the particles that make up the bacteria of the next level of being.
Yeah, and simultaneous to that, just below our feet, there is the subsphere of insectoids and things like that, like ants and everything. They live in a different ecosystem than we do. And then, water-based life is a different ecosystem. And then
subatomic particles.
And subatomic particles. It's just like, it's all part of the same living sphere. It's just a different layer.
Mm-hmm.
Same with quantum level.
Yeah.
Like, we know that there are life forms at the quantum level. We just can't really see them.
So are those levels just different dimensions?
Potentially.
Some say it is possible.
Is it possible that quantum level life forms are in another dimension?
Ancient astronaut theorists say yes.
Dude, you could play a fucking drinking game to that show.
Oh, yeah.
Just
you
as soon
get
as
fucking hammered, too.
As soon as they propose the question and then answer it right away, it's a full shot.
Yeah.
Or whenever David Childress does it, is it possible? You gotta take a pull of your beer.
Yeah. Every time they recap from a commercial break the whole entire thing that you just watched, shot.
Yeah. The entire subsection from before the commercial break that they recap in like 90 seconds. Like, why didn't you just tell it in 90 seconds to begin with?
This show could be like, what is there, 7 commercial breaks? So 7 minutes long.
Yeah. And then you could just make one bigger show. Like, put the whole season into one episode.
Yeah.
It's like an hour long. No
Boom.
commercials.
And then you have all the information in the ancient astronaut world.
I'm about it. We should just do our own version with blackjack and hookers.
Okay. I'll get the blackjack, you get the hookers.
I don't know where to get
Me
hookers.
neither.
Fuck.
Never really looked, but
Yeah, me neither.
I think Vegas has hookers.
They do. Well, that's where we gotta go. We'll rent the house right next door to Zach Bagan's museum to do it.
He probably knows where the hookers are too.
Oh, I'm sure. And then every time we see him walk in and out of the museum, be like, bitch! Ooh. A mama's boy! I don't think I could resist, dude. I'd be punking him all day long, every day.
I mean, we could do that as a vacation.
Just
Get lawn chairs and we're just sitting outside there.
pounding beers. Just fucking, there he is!
Fucking heckling him as he walks by. Oh, that was good. Wait for another 4 hours till he comes back out.
Comes out, he's just pissed. Like, why do you look so mad? Are you possessed? Cheers. I kicked the camera on that one, so if I see the movement, I'll know what it is.
Yeah, that was a straight. I don't know if you've put that up anywhere.
I haven't. I have the clip still. I just haven't put it up anywhere.
Yeah, on one of the episodes we were doing, there was a slight camera movement, which is weird because we've done how many episodes now? Like 80?
I think we're up to 90 or something by now.
But in one of the ones we were doing, the camera on you just goes like that.
Yeah, it like turns and then turns back. And there's been many times I've seen small movements like a... And every time I'm just like, maybe it's a frame rate issue or something, I have no idea. But that one was so blatant and it was so much longer than all the others, I couldn't ignore it. Because it's... And they're mounted, they're stationary.
Yeah.
And when I put the shoes on them to clip them into the tripods, like, I screw that fucker in tight just because of how many times I've seen that.
Well, you would think that if it was something where it was moving, like unwinding on that thing, it would go one way and then stay there. But like for it to go and then go back is very strange.
Super strange. I mean, weird shit happens here all the time.
Yeah. You told me as soon as I got here that you had something just happen to you.
Yeah, that was strange. The bedroom door downstairs, it's pretty much always shut. Nobody lives in that room. But somehow it had opened. One of the dogs went in there, and then the door slammed. But it slammed pretty loud, like somebody really put their guts into it. Now that door will vacuum close because of the way the draft pulls. Mm-hmm. So, but it'll... Very simple. Like, even my bedroom door does that.
Yeah.
But this was like a angry slam. And the other dog is like freaking the fuck out. And I was upstairs, so I'm almost right above it. So I go down there and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I open the door to my dad's bedroom. There's no dog in there. And I open the other one that slammed, and there's a dog in there. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Or even... like a week ago, there's a dog kennel in the dining room. There's a bag of dog treats on there, and it was in my bedroom, just chilling out, and I hear this bag get like smacked and then I heard it hit the floor. So I go in there, and this fucking bag of treats like got slapped off of the kennel, went a few feet away, and landed on the floor.
Interesting.
Interesting.
It just reminded me, like the door slamming and stuff like that, reminded me of a story that I heard. And it's a true story.
Based on a true story?
No, it's 100% true.
Okay.
100%
So it
true.
has nothing to do with Ed and Lorraine?
No.
Okay, let's hear it.
Not that I don't think they were involved. I never heard. So the story, maybe you probably even heard this story. So the story is that it's a family, a guy and his two daughters. One is like 17, one is like 9 or 10. And the guy's wife dies. I don't know how she dies. And so they're going through like mourning, and the dad starts picking up longer shifts to make up for the loss of income from his wife, and so he's staying at work later, working more hours. And so the kids are at home by themselves later and more frequently. And so one of the nights when the dad's at work, kids get off school and come home, and they decide to do a little seance to try to talk to their mom. And so they have a Ouija board. They get the Ouija board out and try to contact their mother through this Ouija board. And so they do the seance and whatever, and they think that nothing happened. And so they put that away. They go upstairs. Dad's still not home because he's got to work super late. So the kids put themselves to sleep. So one girl goes to her room, the other girl goes to her room, and the younger girl starts hearing tapping coming from somewhere in the house, just like tap 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 tap. And so she's sitting there, and then all of a sudden she starts thinking maybe it's Mom who's trying to communicate. Maybe we did contact her, she just couldn't speak to us at the time. And so she goes and gets the other sister, her older sister, and her older sister says, "Oh, you're just hearing things. It's just the house settling. It's just, the house always makes noises." And so, like, she asked if he can sleep in her room. She said, "Yeah." Climbs into bed with her, and then a few minutes later, they start hearing the tapping again. And she's like, "That's the tapping I was hearing." And so they're laying there for a while listening to this tapping. And so finally they get up, start walking through the house, turning on the lights to see where the tapping is coming from. And they go down and they figure out the tapping sounds like it's coming from the basement where they did the seance. And so they hear this tapping. And so they go down to the door, open up the basement door. Of course, they don't want to go downstairs because it's dark, scary basement. That's like horror movie territory down there. And so they start talking, asking questions. "Mom, is that you?" Tap, tap, tap. And then, "Can you hear, do you know who I am?" Tap, tap. And then, so they're communicating with this thing, and it seems like it's answering. He only taps when they're asking questions. So they get all excited. Yeah, they contacted their mother, their dead mother's spirit, and Dad finally gets home, and so they're like all happy, and they tell him what's going on, and he's like, "Oh," kind of not really sure to believe them, or like, but they start asking questions, and of course they don't hear, the tapping stops. And so the dad wants to be supportive. I mean, the kids just lost their mother, so he doesn't want to tell them that they're crazy or they're hearing things, or he wants to kind of keep their spirits up. He hasn't seen them happy since Mom died, and so okay, well that was a really cool experience, go to bed. And so for the next week, the girls are communicating with this thing, and they're saying that they're communicating, and it keeps on tapping, and by the end of the week, when they go to bed, they start hearing tapping coming from underneath their beds. Tap, tap, just tapping on their beds. And so they're, now at this point, they're kind of, it seems, to them, it seems like it's getting more aggressive. And so they start getting kind of freaked out by it. And so they start telling their dad, it's getting scary, stuff's getting scary. Now, at this point, he's worried that his kids are having some mental issue from their mom passing away, and they don't know how to deal with the grief. And so they're making up these stories. And so he's like contemplating, do I need to put my kids in therapy? Because this is like a serious thing now. And so he's like trying to decide if he's going to put them in therapy. So the next week, he's going to work again, and the girls come home and they start hearing tapping in the house, and it starting to get more aggressive banging and stuff like that from the basement. So they decide they're going to go down and check out the basement. So they go downstairs into the basement, and they see in the wall, written in what they think is blood, and it says, I'm in your bedroom, come find me," written on the wall. And so they get freaked out, and so the girls run out of the house, run to the neighbor's house, tell the neighbor what's going on, and so the neighbor goes, takes a look, and he's like, "Oh crap." Gets out of the house and then calls the dad, lets him know what's going on. So the dad comes home, goes to the neighbor's house and grabs them. Or first he goes inside the house and looks and sees it for himself, that it's really written there. And so he's freaked out at this point, but he's like, "I need to get these girls into therapy." So he checks out the whole house. There's nobody in the house. So he goes and gets his kids. Next day they start going through therapy and stuff, and then for like a month, everything stops. Like, they don't hear any tapping. Everything start to go back to normal. And there's one day where they decide to go out to eat, or they go out for ice cream or something like that. So the dad takes the girls and one of their friends out, and they come home, and as they're coming into the house, it's nighttime at this point. The dad notices there's a few things, like a lamp that's like in the front room, I guess, that's turned on, and he doesn't remember turning it on. And so there's a few things. He opens the door, walks in, and it looks like some of the stuff in the house has been moved a little bit. And so he's kind of trying to figure out what's going on at this point. And there's a radio that's been turned on, like in the living room, just like low volume. So he goes and turns off the radio, and he's like, "Well, I should probably check out the house because it seems like somebody's been in here." So the girls are looking at each other and looking at their friend. Of course, the friend knows what's going on because the girls have told her the stories of the tapping and what's been going on, and so they're all kind of freaked out. And so the dad's like, "Let's go check out the house." They go through all the rooms in the house, go downstairs in the basement, nothing. They don't find anything. And as he comes back to the door, he realizes there's one room there's an office right on the side of the door. Like when you come in, there's an office off to the side. And so he goes in, "I got to check that room. I didn't check that room." And so he walks into that room, and then he looks up, and there's written in shaving cream across the top of the window, it says, "Will you marry me?" And so the girls are freaking out. Like, he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And as he's kind of slowly backing out of the room in terror, and the girls are freaking out, he starts hearing tapping coming from the closet inside the room. And he looks over, and slowly the door opens up, and there's a guy with a hatchet wearing a wedding dress, and his face is painted like a clown. Comes walking out of the closet, and so they slam the door shut, turn around and run. The girls are taking off, and they turn off into the house. And so the dad runs out, and he hears the guy opening the door behind him, and the girls run up the stairs. So the dad runs up the stairs behind them. I don't know why they didn't just run out the front door, but so they run upstairs. Guy's right behind him with the hatchet coming behind him, and they get into the bedroom, and the dad manages to slam the door shut, and he's holding the door shut, and this guy is trying to get into the bedroom.
Jesus Christ.
So the oldest girl turns around immediately, flings the window open in her bedroom, and jumps out the window. hits the ground, like pops up, and runs to that same neighbor's house. And so she calls the cops, or the neighbor calls the cops, and the whole time the dad is still holding the door, fighting, making sure this guy can't come in the room. As soon as the sirens, you can hear the sirens, the cops coming, the door, he stops having to fight this guy at the door, and then the cops get there, go inside, they find the dad and the youngest daughter and the friend are still barricaded themselves in the room. So the cops say, wait here, we're going to go search the house. The hatchet is sitting there right in the hallway next to the door. And so the cops go through and search the whole house, and all the other doors are locked from the inside, the back door, whatever, everything is sealed up. Nobody came out the front door because they were watching it. The neighbor was watching for anybody to come out. Nobody came out. So the cops are like, yeah, we can't tell you. There's no signs of anybody in here. Like, we've searched the whole house, top to bottom. And so they're like, we think it's probably a good idea if you take your family and you stay with a relative or stay somewhere else. We'll watch the house to make sure that nobody comes in or nobody goes in or comes out. So for 3 or 4 days, he takes his kids, goes to family member's house. They're living there. After 3 or 4 days, he decides he needs to go back and get like clothes and stuff back to the house. So the dad drives back to the house. Right away notices there's no police there. They're supposed to be there watching the house. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, that's weird. I thought they're supposed to be here all the time watching the house. And so he goes up to go to the front door, and he notices movement in one of the windows. And so he's like, okay, maybe it's the cops. Maybe they're inside, staking out the house from inside. They're just there so nobody sees that they're there. But he decides to go to the neighbor's house again, call the police, and verify that they're there. And so he goes over, calls the police, and their dispatcher's like, yeah, there should be somebody. Actually, you might be catching them right now with shift change. And so there's a lapse of maybe 10 or 15 minutes where one person leaves and the other person shows up. He's like, most likely if you go outside right now, you'll see there's a cop out there. Mm-hmm. So he hangs up with that, goes outside, and there's a patrol car sitting outside the house. And so he goes over, talks to the cop, and tells him, he's like, yeah, I noticed you guys have people on the inside the house. And he's like, no, there shouldn't be anybody in there. And so the cop is like, here, I'll check out the house. And so the cop goes to the front door, opens the door, goes inside, and then notices that, like, somebody has glued pennies across the whole ceiling. Like, there's a bunch of shit all over the house, just messed up. Ketchup and mustard writing all over the walls. So like, there's definitely been somebody in here, but how are they getting in and out? Because there was nobody in the house. And so he immediately goes outside, stays there with the dad, makes sure nobody comes in, nobody leaves, and calls for backup. Backup gets there, and they all go in there and start really searching the house again. Find nothing. So they go downstairs and they're talking about what's been going on at the house, and they're down in the basement kind of spitballing what could be happening. And one of the guys does something where he bumps into the washing machine, and it kind of moves, and he's able to see a little hole in the wall. Mm-hmm. And so he moves the washing machine, and then there's a little hole in the wall, and he goes in there and shines his flashlight inside, and there's a guy dressed as a clown with his face painted in there, hiding inside the wall. So they arrest him, take him to jail. So apparently this guy, he was a kid, he was like a 17-year-old kid, who had been living inside the walls of their house for like 10 months or something like that.
Jesus Christ. And this is a real story?
This is a real story, yeah. And so this is where it really gets weird. So the guy gets arrested and he's in jail for like burglary and trying to commit murder, basically. Turns out he went to school with the oldest daughter. The oldest daughter, he had asked her out on a date and she turned him down. And so he was like vengeful and wanted to kill her. So he broke into the house, was living inside the walls for a long time. He would come out at night and get food, use the bathroom, whatever. And so they had like psych evaluations on him. But I think he was in jail for 6 or 7 months, and then posted bail. Somebody posted his bail, so he got out while he's awaiting his trial, and ended up doing the same thing at somebody else's house and murdered a lady and her 2 kids.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So then he got arrested and he's serving 3 life sentences.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Moral of the story is conceal carry.
Yeah.
Because I carry all the time. And if I walked in and I saw that shit in my house, will you marry me? Then the guy comes out with a hatchet. Can that thing deflect bullets?
Wrong house, fuckface. But yeah, I think that was, I was listening to that story and I was like, what the fuck? That can't be true. And so I looked it up. I can't remember the kid's name. But yeah, he's serving 3 life sentences. He was 17 at the time of the trial. And so his attorneys were asking that he be tried as a minor, but he was like, no, this kid is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And but he was eligible for parole when he turned 35 or something like that. And so he came up at a parole hearing, and so they do the psych evaluations and stuff like that. And the person that did his psych evaluation said that he's probably the most psychopathic person in the prison systems currently.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Very intense.
What do you do with a person like that?
I don't know.
You put him in Gen Pop and let nature take its course.
Yeah.
I mean,
he'd probably get a few more victims.
yeah. So I saw this TikTok recently. It kind of reminds me of that. Of what's an unethical experiment that humans should try, and one of them was to get like DNA from a psychopathic serial killer and create clones of that person, raise them in different environments, and see if the outcome is the same. Just to see if it's like a nature versus nurture. It's like, that's actually a really fucking cool idea. How crazy would it be?
I kind of wonder if they've actually done those experiments.
I do think, to an extent, yes. Maybe that there's some kind of genetic marker that makes you predisposed to become a psychopath, and some black government agency was like, hey, put this kid in the foster system, switch him at birth or do whatever you got to do. Put this kid in the foster system and let's see if he turns out to be a psychopath. Would not surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't put anything past our government, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If they could do that, why wouldn't they just breed psychopaths for like special ops types? Like,
wouldn't that make the most sense?
You just want a ruthless killer that just wants to get in there and fucking... At the same token, you're creating somebody without morals, so what are they going to have allegiance to? Like, if nothing, just the thrill of killing.
Being able to do it legally and without ramifications. That would probably be it.
Yeah.
Actually, with the whole short film thing, I've been coming up with different ideas, and I have one for a slasher movie where it's in kind of this gated community just outside of Washington, D.C. is all of these teenagers are being murdered. And it's like going through the whole motion, making it a scary film or whatever. But at the end, you find out that the killer, they think is like this supernatural thing because they'll catch glimpses of it like survivors will. And they'll say he's just like this horrified, ugly creature looking thing. But you find out it was actually like an ex-operative who was on a mission where he got extremely disfigured. But he wanted revenge on the people who authorized it and pushed it forward and everything. So he's murdering like all these senators and congressmen's children as revenge. Kind of like a fun twist on it.
Yeah.
On a classic slasher film. Nobody steal that, by the way. It's copyrighted.
Yeah, that story, I was watching Mr. Ballin on the Sean Ryan show, and he was talking about that story that he told in one of his episodes, and I went back and listened to it, and I was just like, the beginning I thought it was like definitely going to be a paranormal story. Yeah,
that's where I thought it was going, because it reminded me of a horror movie I watched fairly recently that was like paranormal.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's why I was knocking on your wall. I was like, see if there's anybody in there.
There's enough firearms in this house. If there's a sick fuck hiding in the wall, you're going to catch it.
Petrified in there.
He's like, oh shit, how do I get the fuck out of here? Maybe I should get the family across the street. They seem way more liberal.
He's going to come out and be like, they held me hostage in there for 10 years. I couldn't get out without being shot.
It's like, why are you wearing clown makeup? I don't, son related. It's all I have to do in the walls, man. Just
life in the walls does strange things to you.
Crazy. So, have you seen the recent drama with Sean Ryan?
Yeah.
So he was talking about, I may have the name wrong. It's like Kanakuk. I think it's a Christian school or something like that. I can't remember. It's some place where kids are. But the people in charge of this place have been molesting kids for a decade or whatever. And Sean Ryan had exposed it on the show. Somebody he was talking to, they were having a conversation about it. And so Kanakuk, I think that's the name, sent him like a cease and desist and was like, we're going to get our lawyers after you and all this other shit. And he's completely transparent about everything. Like, he posted it all on social media, and then he did like a video message talking about it. He's like, this is a situation, there is legal proof of all of this and blah blah blah. I didn't speak out of tune. I said what was actually there, and now they're threatening me with legal action. He's like, fucking bring it on. I can't wait for that discovery. I was like, good on you, Sean.
Yeah.
That guy's got a fucking pair on him.
Yeah.
Not just that, but the whole thing with, what's that fucking guy's name? With the eye patch. Congressman. Dan Crenshaw.
Oh, yeah.
All the beef between them has been super fucking entertaining. Because Dan Crenshaw is as crooked as they come. And he's a douchebag. And so they were going to like sit down and do a podcast episode or whatever, and Dan Crenshaw kept jerking him around, and he rescinded the offer, and now they're having legal bouts. It's like, dude, Sean Ryan's fucking lawyers are making money hand over fist. Yeah. But he's like one of the few people in the entertainment industry who's actually like credible, and he's a stand-up guy, and he's standing up for what's right.
Yeah.
And people don't like that.
That's what I love about his show, is that most of the guests that he has on aren't trying to spin some fucking tale. Maybe they are, but seems very credible, and he seems like he's trying to get just information out, like about whatever topic it is. But I think that he is one of the most real personalities. Like, he's not trying to sell anything except for give a platform to somebody who wants to talk about whatever it is.
Yeah. And he's not afraid to sit down with people he disagrees with or doesn't like. Like, he sat down with fucking Hunter Biden, of all people.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many How many podcasters are actually going to do that? Because court of public opinion's already made their mind up about Hunter Biden. Like, he's a shitbag, and he's a druggie, and he's done all these illegal things, and his family's embroiled with corruption. Like, we all kind of have that same feeling. And then here's Sean Ryan, like, let's hear his side of the story. And that's a fucking baller move, in my opinion.
Yeah, I haven't watched that episode. I saw it on there, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I thought it was more brave of Hunter Biden to go on there.
Honestly, yeah.
Really?
But what has he got to lose? Like, he has zero credibility.
Yeah.
And it's like the one time he's finally being offered to tell his side, you should take it. So if you could gain one shred of your credibility back, just one little piece, it's worth it for him.
Yeah.
For Sean Ryan, it's probably like nobody wanted to deal with Hunter Biden. Nobody wanted any part of that, except for like the super right-wing, pro-conservative people who just want to attack Hunter Biden to go after Joe Biden,
Right.
which is kind of pathetic if you ask me. But it's like, Sean Ryan is one of the few people he's out there just seeking the truth and putting it out there, and he's actually exposing people for the wrongdoings that they're doing because it is the right thing to do.
Right.
So I love that guy, man.
Yeah. Seems like a stand-up fella.
I'd love to have a beer with him. Although I think he's sober, but I'll have
Really?
the beer. He can talk. Oh, yeah, because he talks about his time from being a Navy SEAL to being in the CIA and
That's right.
drugs and alcohol and all that. And he's always very transparent about that, too.
Yeah. And he's done his ibogaine work,
Yeah.
becoming sober.
I would love to try that ibogaine thing. It's like a fucking 12-hour trip, dude.
Yeah, I think that it seems like it might be one of those things that's akin to ayahuasca in it's probably not an entertaining trip, but a very enlightening trip.
Oh, yeah. Because I was listening to, I think it was Joe Rogan was talking about it recently, and he's like, it's like a 12-hour ego break. But the results are amazing. It's on your first time doing it, anybody with an addiction has like an 80% success rate of quitting that addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And on their second visit, it's 90%. So it's like, this is a proven system. This works. But yeah, it's not going to be fun. It's like that ego death you get when in the first part of your mushroom trip and you're just like, this sucks. But when it's done, you're like, I needed that.
Yeah.
So I would try it.
I would try it too. I know that there are like similar to ayahuasca, like ibogaine retreat treatment centers.
Mm.
Most of them are not in the U.S. because that sort of thing is frowned upon here.
Yeah, we don't want real mental health in this
No,
country.
we want treatment, not
Yeah.
recovery.
We want to give you pills.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want fucking pills. I don't even take Tylenol if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta have a really bad headache to take an ibuprofen.
I don't know. I fucking drank about 1.5 gallons of NyQuil over the weekend.
That's different, though. You were sick.
Still a little congested, but the worst of it's I've expelled.
I have expelled the demons.
This house is clear. Clean? Clear.
This house is clean. I can't remember. These pipes are clean.
That's a deep cut.
Fucking dug deep into the annals of film history for that one.
That's one of those movies that's so fucking stupid that it's funny.
Yeah. That actor, I don't even know his fucking name.
Chris.
Yeah, it's Chris something. But he is one of those, everything he's in, he does a bang-up job.
Yeah.
But he does the over-the-top ridiculous perfectly without screaming all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it more funny.
Talking about the butler in Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Handsome. What's his name? He's also the mayor in Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. And he was in...
Something about Mary.
yeah, he was Ted, and there's something about... Not Ted. Yeah, I can't remember. Woogie, something or other.
Yeah.
He was the actual fucking stalker.
Yeah.
Break out in hives. Fucking classic, dude.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's part of the problem I have with some of those guys is like, in the same way I cannot fucking stand Leslie Jones's stand-up comedy, where it's like being loud does not equal being funny. Just because you're screaming doesn't make you any more funny. It's obnoxious. Like, tell a real joke.
Yeah.
And then she's on a fucking interview talking about Tony Hinchcliffe, and he's all about shock comedy. Like, that's all you do.
Yeah.
You talk about dick all the time and being a, not a shock comic, but it's like all you're doing is screaming at the audience. It's not funny.
I've never seen any of her stand-up.
Oh, it's so bad.
I just thought, like, she never really played any, like, memorable scenes on Saturday Night Live. I didn't mind her in the Ghostbusters movie. I thought she was kind of funny in that movie.
She had like one or two decent lines, but I think
she was just like yelling stuff.
The power of panic compels you. Like, okay, you're being loud again. And I think she seems more passable in that movie because she's so juxtaposed with actual funny people.
Yeah.
Like Kate McKinnon and Melissa McCarthy and shit. Like, they were actually
she married
funny.
to Kate McKinnon?
I don't think so. I don't know. She's not funny. But I was thinking about this the other day because I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy. It's much harder for a woman to stand out in stand-up comedy because there's so many shitty ones. It's mostly a male-dominated thing. So it's like you can't really compare all the men together because there's just too many versus like the amount of women in stand-up comedy is a lot smaller. But you have so many shitty female stand-up comedians like Leslie Jones or fucking Hannah Gadsby. I don't know why they keep getting her to do comedy. She sucks.
I don't know who that is.
She's like super pro LGBTQ, so that's like 90% of her shtick. And it's just not funny at all. But then you'll have a banger like Nikki Glaser or Whitney Cummings, and they're fucking hilarious. It's like, you know what they're doing? Do that. Stop yelling and stop talking about LGBTQ stuff all the time.
Yeah, I think that Hannah person, I think Kara likes her comedy, and I don't think she's very funny. If I don't know if that's who I'm thinking of, but there's one female comic that Kara thinks is funny and will watch her stuff, but I'm just like, I don't get it. But it seems like it's like a male-female type thing of where I don't understand what she's talking about, maybe. I don't identify with that or whatever.
There's a part of that with Hannah Gadsby I try to buy into of like, maybe I just don't understand it because I don't have the female perspective. But a lot of it is just like, she's almost trying to give a TED Talk at a comedy show, and it gets obnoxious.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of like Nikki Glazer's stuff is very a man-style comic, where she's a good-looking girl telling dirty jokes.
Yeah, but she also does like actually good jokes, and sometimes they're clean.
Oh, dude, her roasts are fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, top fucking tier.
Yeah,
I love those Comedy Central roasts, dude.
She's definitely a funny person.
Yeah, she tells some really funny stories, and she actually seems like a well-read person in real life. So I think that plays a factor. Or even Whitney Cummings, she has some pretty good stand-up stuff. She's got a couple of them that like aren't bangers, but she's still funny in. Or even what's her face, Amy Schumer. Like, she used to be really funny, like with the self-deprecating, I'm a slut humor, and then she started stealing other people's jokes, and then kind of like leaned into the pro-left message and just became intolerable to listen to.
I never really listened. I always just couldn't get over the fact that she looked like Reagan.
From The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Totally. With the high cheeks and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking perfect.
Yeah. So I was a little bit fucking scared every time I saw her, so I didn't know if she was telling a joke or she was going to steal my soul.
Speaking of stand-up comedians, have you ever listened to Brendan Schaub do comedy?
No.
You know, he's like Joe Rogan's buddy. He was a UFC fighter. Stand-up comedian. He is so bad.
Yeah, I've always heard him talking about doing stand-up, but I've never actually seen any of his material.
Well, I got curious about it a few weeks ago, and he's got a special called Gringo Poppy. I watched like 2/3 of it. I haven't laughed once. And I'm like, okay, I'm just checked out. And if you haven't made me laugh at all in fucking 30 minutes or whatever, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, I just watched that new Chappelle stand-up.
Is it good? Well, it's Chappelle, it's good. But
Yeah, it's pretty good. Definitely, like... Chappelle's always gets into, like, political stuff, but he's funny. Still a funny fucker.
he is funny, and I think what makes him able to tell like politically charged jokes is that he doesn't really take a side unless it's just like the logical side. You know, it's every time he's been attacked by LGBT, he's never really in the wrong per se. It's just he has a different opinion, and they just go after him so ruthlessly, which gives him more fuel to tell more jokes.
Yeah.
I think Chappelle is like probably top 3
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty high bar.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been doing it for so long. Especially coming from like... What's that fucking... Oh, the Nutty Professor. And Chappelle's in that and like doing stand-up. He's like the guy with the shit locks, he says.
Yeah.
Like little side rolls like that, and it's like, holy shit, this guy is actually the fucking... Turns out to be one of the goats. Like, pretty cool.
Yeah, he's fucking... I would... probably I'd give him number 1. And that's a pretty high watermark. Like, you think of Richard Pryor, George Carlin, or Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of the greatest ever. I think Chappelle's probably above all of them.
Yeah, if not, you know, above them, right next to them, if not above them. Like, he's right on that level, if not higher, for sure.
Yeah. And I love that he never has like an over-the-top stage either. You know, like you watch like Cat Williams, who's very funny.
Yeah.
But he has this huge backdrop at the chair and everything else, and he's always got like his pimp goblet and all that. Where Chappelle doesn't need any of that. His presence alone is the stage.
Yeah.
He's so fucking good.
Yeah. Who is the other? Oh, Eddie
Griffith?
Griffith, yeah. Eddie Griffin.
Griffin, yeah.
Yeah. Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith. For clean comedy at the time was hilarious.
Yeah.
That fucking bit he does about watching people play football, classic.
Yeah.
Eddie Griffin was fucking funny.
Yeah, there's one of his specials I was watching one night, and I was fucking dying. I had to stop it just to fucking catch my breath. Yeah. We need to get more good comedy specials. We need to laugh these days.
I'd agree, and I think the comedy world is kind of strained right now, because it's like all of the top performers in comedy right now, they're all kind of like the circle of Joe Rogan's buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are really funny, and then others it's kind of like you're just being mean, and that I'm not into that. Like, I want you to tell me an actual joke. Like Tony Hinchcliffe, you know, he's got some funny bits, but for the most part, he's just kind of a dickhead. Or what's the other one? Schultz. It's kind of the same way.
Mm.
It's like you're just deprecating on other people, and that's not as funny as telling a funny story.
Yeah.
And then you get like Bert Kreischer, who's, you know, like we talked about, that drinking buddy you only want to see once or twice a year, and he's super, super self-absorbed. Or even Tom Segura to a point, like he still is a real comedian. I really like his stuff. But it becomes difficult to like differentiate him as a person versus his comedy.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to like start propping up new comedians.
Yeah, and I do. The type of comedy that I really enjoy is not like set up punchline. It's like Chappelle style, where he'll do that, but in the midst of doing that, he's telling a story along the way with a big payoff at the end.
Yeah.
Still like taking little jabs at like punchline here, but the story keeps on progressing into an arc of like the payoff is like a callback to what he was talking about before.
Yeah.
And that's the real punchline, which is fucking genius.
He's great. I even think Joe Rogan is a really good stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
he has some great bits.
His special that he put out, I liked it.
Yeah, I've seen a few of
last
his.
year. He just did like a HBO special.
Yeah.
Or
That
it
one
was
was
on
good.
Netflix.
Yeah. Like he's got that bit about how men are hardwired to want to fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, you could take a tribe of men that have never even seen a woman, and you put them in the presence of a beautiful woman, and they're going to be like, I want to fuck! Like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I have never really... I know I've seen some of his older stuff, and but then watching his podcast for so long, and then going to that Netflix special, it just came out like within the last like 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned that on, and it was a weird, like, first couple minutes was just kind of weird, like going from that transition of this person who's just, usually I'm watching him, the ones that I listen to most of the time are like specialists that he has on, like neuroscientists and
Mm-hmm.
whatever, he's doctors and stuff, and so like most of those conversations are serious. And then going back to watching him do stand-up, it was just kind of like a, wait, what?
It's jarring,
Yeah,
for sure.
But I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It took a few minutes to get back into that, like, oh, wait, he's a comedian, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny, too, because when he does his show, he's, like, he'll, you know, make a little joke here or there, but he's never, like, funny. And I think that's more entertaining for the show. And it's great that he has, like, that differentiation, because when he's doing stand-up, it's really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Versus just hearing him talk about, you know, peptides and COVID and everything else.
Yeah. I do listen to the like the Protect Our Parks episodes, and those are entertaining for other reasons, I think.
I stopped listening to those just because of like the guest lineup on that. Like, I don't think Ari Shaffir is that funny, and he comes off as kind of a douche. So it's hard for me to listen to him. And the same thing with Bert Kreischer. Like, Bert Kreischer will never shut the fuck up and let other people talk. So I have a hard time with that too. I don't listen to any of the fight companions. I'm just not into MMA like that.
Yeah.
But like the doctors and scientists for sure. Even the later ones that he's had with a lot of actors have been interesting, because it's cool from the perspective of a viewer to see an actor talk as a normal person and not in like a soundbite way.
Right.
Where you're actually understanding, oh yeah, that guy's in movies, but he's still just a person.
Yeah. Yeah, that one with what was that one you asked me about if I'd watched it?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, yeah. That one was quite insightful.
It really was, and it really did change my kind of perception on the way I kind of see actors. And like when he was talking about, you know, if your daughter drew you this picture, you know, made this piece of art and gave it to you, what would you say? You'd be like, oh, this is great. You wouldn't be like, that's so pretentious. Because I see actors and I think there's a lot of pretentiousness there. So like listening to these different episodes with actors has kind of dispelled a lot of that for me.
Yeah.
Not to say there aren't, but
Yeah, it is hard to think about, like, you go to see a movie and you're watching the movie and, like, that was so dumb. Why did that person act in a certain way? And it's like, well, it was a character choice. This actor is trying to create a character from a script that they have. It's hard to look at a movie through a lens of like, what is this person doing? What are they portraying? Without just getting drawn into the scene or whatever it is, like, and judging it for being a bad scene or being like a bad movie because you didn't like the movie or you didn't like the performance might have been great, but you think it's a bad movie because you didn't like the movie.
yeah. Things get overshadowed very easily.
Yeah.
And I think there are still like some actors that are very pretentious. Like Jared Leto seems to be the most pretentious dickhead in Hollywood. Like all the stories about when he was getting in a character to play the Joker, and he's like sending his co-stars use condoms and dead rats and shit like that. Like that's not my craft. That's you being a fucking tool.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much weird stuff around that guy. Mostly with his band, like people talking about his band is a cult, and
yeah, he has like a sex cult going on, and he is got a lot of rapey vibes to him. And there's been a lot of women who have come forward and said like he's very pushy
really.
sexually and does a lot of very uncouth things. And he's just not that good of an actor. He got a couple of banger roles early on, and then he's just like milking it out now.
Yeah.
Like Requiem for a Dream, shit like that, where he's like this deep critical character, and then he just like plays everything else just the same. And his version of the Joker sucked.
Well, he was only in the movie for like fucking 30 seconds.
Well, they cut most of his shit out because he was just too over the top.
Too over the top in a movie like that with Harley Quinn. It's like, dude, we were going for serious kind of action movie, and you were giving us like George Clooney Batman style.
I'd rather watch George Clooney as Batman.
Batman and Robin. Ben Affleck. No. Who was it in Batman and Robin?
Oh, Chris O'Donnell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was Batman, though?
George Clooney.
Oh. All I remember is the fucking Mr. Freeze. And it was very... Not even comic book. It was like cartoony.
It was like the movie version of the 60s Batman show.
Yeah.
Is what I always think of it as. It's super campy. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. Like, they're trying to make a movie that's going to sell toys. Which, at the time, I totally get. I really do understand that. But it's like, there's a limit. You know, you can only go so far with it, and then people are just going to hate the movie.
Yeah.
Versus, you'll look at, like, Batman Forever was more of a balance in that. It was camping, it was silly, but it still had a little bit of that Tim Burton seriousness to it.
Yeah.
And it sold a shitload of toys.
Yeah.
Like, if they had stayed on that path, they probably would have made several more movies.
Yeah, I remember I had a Batman toy. And it had, like, his yellow belt, and you could, like, pull it out with it. It had a string on it, so you could, like, pull it out and hook it on something and then make him go up to... Like, it was retractable string thing.
Yeah, I had the same one. I had a bunch of those toys.
Dope. Batman did all sorts of crazy shit.
It was awesome.
He could stay underwater for fucking ever.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of Batman growing up. Now I think he's just fucking overrated. And maybe it's because we've had 89 fucking Batman movies.
Yeah.
And being a superhero nerd, I hate having discussions with people about who could Batman beat. because it's always the same argument. With prep time, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. There's no way Batman beats Superman, even with prep time.
Even with prep time. He almost did it in Batman versus Superman, but he cheated.
Martha! So stupid.
What did you think about Robert Pattinson's Batman? Have we talked about this?
I don't think we have. I actually think that was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
When they announced he was going to be Batman, of course there's always the backlash. There's always like, oh, the guy from Twilight. Like, have you not seen anything else he's done? He's actually a very brilliant actor. Borderline's unpretentious. But I think that's the payoff. You're a really good actor, you have to border on pretentious.
Yeah.
But when I saw the movie is like 40 minutes too long. They could have cut out a fair amount. But I think he does a very cool, interesting version.
Yeah.
Because I prefer a street-level Batman. I don't want to see Batman saving the world in every movie. It's too much.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Christopher Nolan Batman, that's my favorite. But he's solving like Gotham-sized problems. So seeing them bring that back, coming right off of like the Zack Snyder Batman, was perfect. And he was like different and unique. His suit actually did different things. It had different like accoutrements that made sense. And he was a little bit more covert too.
Yeah.
Like keeping his suit in the backpack and shit. I really liked it.
Yeah. I really liked it too. But I did feel like it was a little bit longer than it needed to be.
For sure.
Yeah. It was good though. I liked it.
It was good. I probably would have liked a little bit more action out of it. But when they did have an action scene, like, it was impactful. Like when he fucks up that first dude in the beginning of the movie and he's got him down on the ground and he's just railing him in the face. You're like, this is an angry Batman.
Right.
Or the scene where he like gets up to the top of the police department and puts on his windsuit, but when he gets up there he's like, holy shit, that's a long way down.
This better fucking work.
Yeah, this better fucking work. And then he does it and he fucking gets bounced off a bridge and a bus and shit and he gets up and he's like fucked up. I like that.
Yeah.
I prefer the realism.
Yeah, that movie, although it was long and kind of drawn out, I felt like it felt like it was trying to build the foundation for like a series. Mm-hmm. And then it never really happened yet.
Well,
maybe.
Supposedly the second one is in the works. Like they haven't filmed anything yet, but they're going to make that one. Which I'm glad they did. And I think the one thing I really love the most about that movie is you watch Batman kind of grow through the movie. Because in the beginning he's like this street brawler and then he kind of moves into the detective pattern. And then he kind of moves into the bigger action set pieces and things like that. He's not just like a super badass right off the bat.
Right at the beginning, yeah. Yeah, that's why I thought it was kind of building into like showing the origins of where he kind of starts from, and then the next ones would be more action-packed or more involving him doing bigger and better things, or maybe it will happen.
Yeah, and his character had to be more clever because he couldn't play like the big bruiser Batman that can fight 30 dudes at once. It was like he had to be creative.
Yeah.
Very, very cool take.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if hopefully they do. I mean, because they have a good foundation with that movie.
I think so, and I don't
know how well it did in the box office.
Probably pretty good, I would imagine.
I would think. I know my kids were like super psyched to go see it.
So what's a movie sequel that you thought should have been made but never did?
I don't know. I always think that movies should have sequels, and then they do make a sequel, and then it's like, oh, they should have not done that. I don't know. It seems like most movies get made and then they're a super success, and so they want to keep that success, that money train going, so they just pop out a sequel. It seems rare that movies these days are actually... Maybe that might be changing with the onset of like Netflix and streaming and shit like that of series, but it's rare, it seems like, that movies are made with the intent of making more, or leaving the story open enough to continue.
Yeah.
But that's got to be hard. Like, you have to wrap it up.
Yeah, it's difficult, I think, in terms of writing a story. Like, you have to treat every movie as a one and done.
Yeah.
But you have to leave enough space there to tell another good story. And it's pretty rare that it's like a movie ends on a note or a cliffhanger that it's like, we fucking need this sequel. Most of the time it's like, you're sequel baiting. And nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
It's like the Matrix and the Pirates movies did the same thing, where they make the first one and it's wildly successful, and then they go into production to make 2 and 3 at the same time, but the story of 2 and 3 seems unrelated to the story of the first one. Mm-hmm. And then those two movies suffer because of it, instead of making one movie at a time, focusing on one story. So it's, to me, if you want to line up a good sequel without cliffhangers and without sequel bait, you have to tie off the first story to begin with. And then the second story can be reactive to the first one.
Yeah. Well, I think you also have to write the script or write the story in a way that you're writing the entire story out and then breaking it into sections. Where one section ends, this one picks up. Instead of like writing the movie, and if it does well, we'll figure it out after that. You know? I don't know. I think that the trilogies that have done that successfully, it seems like they were intent on making sequels.
Yeah.
So
I think of one franchise that should have continued, but it didn't, was District 9. Like, that movie deserved a sequel, and here we are, like, 16 years later or something, and we still don't have it. It's upsetting.
Yeah. I consider Chappie the sequel.
It's in the same world.
Yeah.
I mean, but all of those Blomkamp movies are in the same world.
Yeah.
District 9, Elysium, Chappie. But he's got a very unique style, and I wish he would make more movies.
Maybe that's it. We just need to write a movie for him. Give it to him.
Hey, I wrote a treatment for District 10. I can just hand it right to him.
Yeah.
I'd have to find it first, but I think a movie franchise that shouldn't have made sequels, or should have done what you said and write out the whole story and then chunk it off, was The Highlander. Because the first one is supposed to be a one and done. And
How many Highlander movies are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the TV series.
Gotta capitalize.
They fucked up on that one.
Yeah.
Because have you seen the first 3 at least?
I want to say yes. My oldest brother was like super into the Highlander movies. I've seen the first 2 for sure. I don't know if I've seen any other ones.
So like the first one is supposed to be a one and done. It's the game is won. Connor and the Kurgan face off, and Connor wins, and that's supposed to be it. But because that movie got so much praise on home video, they decided to make a sequel, and the sequel is the biggest piece of shit. It's like, instead of them just being immortals, they're fucking aliens from the planet Zeist and shit. It's so stupid. What?
You gotta describe somehow why they have these powers, aliens.
I think it would have been better if they didn't describe it at all.
Yeah.
I think the mystery of why they're immortals and why there's a game and a gathering and all that, like, the more you kind of leave that ambiguous, the more interesting it is. And then the last movie they did, Highlander the Source, they explain it, and it's fucking stupid. It's so bad. It's like the source is this power, but it's being guarded by like the oldest immortal thing or whatever, and then they have this really weird fight that is played back at high speed and then slowed down, and it's so stupid. And at the end, the prize is just being mortal, just like it was in the first movie.
What about a Highlander movie that it's in the realm of the Highlander movie, but it's like in the future of like a different, almost like Predator, how they're coming out with these new Predator movies, but it's like different places in time because the Predators are coming to these planets at different times.
I mean, that's kind of how the Highlander works. They're doing a remake right now with Henry Cavill as Connor McLeod.
Oh.
And I'm actually pretty excited about
Yeah.
that. So hopefully they'll just fix all the mistakes that they made before.
Yeah.
Don't do the alien thing. It does not work. Not in any way.
Unless you incorporate it early and like give that the origin story somehow. I don't know.
I would just not do it at all. Leave the alien storyline for an alien movie. But yeah. Super excited for that.
When's that supposed to come out?
I don't know.
Just in the works.
Yeah. But you know what else Highlander related is I'm supposed to get the DVD today.
Oh,
We
really?
can do the movie review.
I haven't seen that movie, and I probably watched it when I was 12 or 13 years old, maybe.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit in there that didn't age well.
Oh, I'm sure. So was that made in like 84 or something?
Came out in like 86,
Yeah.
so yeah, around there.
I'm excited for it. I love those old 80s movies that are just like, what? They make total sense in the 80s.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. And fuck, what did I watch recently that was from the 80s and I was like, this would not fly today? Yeah, it was something or other, but yeah. Those movies from the 80s, they're just timeless though.
Yeah. I like watching old, like, horror movies from the 80s, because that was like, they weren't too, like, hoary. I mean, they were like boobs and stuff like that here and there, but like, they weren't like, you watch a B horror movie now and it's like soft porn. But like Critters, stupid movies like that. Gremlins, where it's like funny, campy, stupid, Army of Darkness, you know. Classic 80s style fucking comedy horror.
I think the best horror movie to come out of the 80s, and this is going to be controversial because there's so many bangers, but The Thing.
Oh, yeah.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
Is a fucking grade A horror movie. You can watch that right now and it's still amazing.
Didn't they remake that in the early 2000s?
So they did another movie of The Thing, but it's actually a prequel to that story.
Right.
Which that movie got a lot of hate. And I'm like, this is actually a pretty good movie. It explains all the stuff you see in the setup for the 81 The Thing. So it's like, what are we so mad about?
You know what would be a good movie for a sequel was 30 Days of Night.
Ooh, that would be good.
Because it could just be like years later. You know, the vampires come back.
Yeah, I could see
Doesn't
something.
have to be the same town. Could be a town close to that.
I could see something along the lines of like an investigator or something, or maybe even the woman from the movie is trying to track down the vampires and find them so she can kill them or something. Like, follow that story until the vampires come back out and they find another place kind of similar.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I,
They could even make that a series.
speaking of horror movies that got turned into a series, have you seen that they're coming out with a 13th Ghost series?
I did. I actually liked that movie, even though I thought it could have been way cooler. I really like the premise of that movie, but like, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the series.
I hope they make it a little bit more serious and actually scary.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, like, great premise, and there was a lot of good things going for that movie, but they just didn't quite hit the mark.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a million reasons for that, but I think with the series they have a great foothold to not only tell like a good story about like the mansion and how they got there and everything and what's happening with that, but delve into the histories of those different 13th ghosts without it being like a throwaway line of, this guy was just a big scary dude and he was killed, like.
Well, I think if I was going to make a series of 13 Ghosts, I would probably do like episodes for each ghost's origin story.
I think that's what they're going for.
Oh.
But tell it concurrent with the story that you're telling now.
Right.
I think that'd be super fucking cool.
Right. And then maybe an episode dedicated to or maybe it's like a through line through all the different episodes of how the house is being built and why it's being built in certain ways and who's doing it and where they're coming up with these spells and shit like that.
Yeah.
I think it could be really cool if they do it correctly. Well, if they do it right.
Well, it's Amazon, and I think Amazon has come out with some winner shows.
Yeah.
So I've got faith.
Yeah.
It's better than Netflix doing it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. I think definitely has potential. I saw like a advertisement for the series or whatever Stitch showed me, and I was like, dude, that could be really fucking cool. Or it could be really fucking dumb. Yeah, we'll see. I'll watch it both ways, either way.
Yeah, I will too. I mean, I'll reserve judgment until I've seen at least 2 or 3 episodes. But you got to get me in that first episode.
Yeah.
And I've noticed every show that I've tried to watch, if you don't get me by episode 2, you don't got me at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to catch some hate for saying this, but I could not get into Breaking Bad.
Really?
I tried watching it a few times, and it's like, people will say, well, you got to get to season 2 or season 3 or whatever. Like, that's like you telling me a joke and then having to explain the joke to me. So I got to slog through 1 or 2 shitty seasons to get to the good stuff? Pass.
Yeah. It is really kind of a slow burn in the first season and a half or so. I think it's kind of like I felt the same way about The Office, which is like one of my favorite comedy like series shows, or like Parks and Rec, where like everybody was saying you need to watch the show, it's hilarious, whatever, blah blah blah. And I would start from the first season and just like, it's so boring. I thought this was supposed to be funny. But if you skip to like the 3rd season and just start watching it from there, then I watched the whole season and then went back and watched the first ones. And for me, that was like I didn't have the backstory. Like, those shows really don't have backstories on the characters, but like the progression. But it was easier because the characters were already established in who they were and stuff like that. And so it was like, okay, a lot of those shows I'll start with like the 2nd season and then watch everything and then watch the 1st season because it seems that way, where if I started from the beginning, I'm not really into it.
Yeah. Yeah. That also kind of goes back to why I like a miniseries. They get right into it and they're telling the story and rolling through characterization like super quick.
Yeah.
because it's like we only have X amount of episodes to tell this story and flesh out these characters. So it really just gets to the point right away.
Or you could just do Game of Thrones style and like build the episode on one person and then kill him at the end of that, and then start with somebody else. Yeah. On the next episode, kill that motherfucker.
Dude, Game of Thrones was a fucking great show, and I resisted watching it for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I started watching it because I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Chewy, and I was like, yeah, I hear the show is just about like rape and killing all the time, and every time you get attached to a character, they get killed. And he's like, not as much as you'd think. He's like, just watch one episode. It was just like my thing. Just watch one episode. If you're hooked, you're hooked. If you're not, move on. And I watched it, and then I ended up binging all fucking however many seasons were out then, and I finished just in time to start the last season when it started coming out. Great fucking show.
Yeah. Yeah, I just started watching the new series, the Night of Seven Kingdoms or whatever.
I heard that was pretty good.
It's a lot different than it's kind of almost like it seems like a comedy.
That's what Scott was telling me. He's like, tonally it's way different. It's almost like funny.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I would give that a shot.
Yeah.
Because when House of the Dragon came out, I had zero interest. I still have zero interest.
I tried to watch, I think I watched the first 2 episodes, but it was kind of boring.
Yeah, I think it just came out way too late for me. Like, it should have come out within a year of the ending of Game of Thrones itself. And then I probably would have invested, but...
Yeah. The first episode of this new one, which had me like, what the fuck is this show? Is it supposed to be funny? Because I was laughing. But then, like, watching through it, it was like, okay, yeah, well, this is kind of a comedy so far. But, like, the first opens up and this guy is, like, he's mourning the death of his, he's, like, the squire, and his knight has died. He was an old guy, and he died just of being old. And so he's like, I'm gonna honor you, like crying, and it's raining and shit, and he's like burying him. I can't leave your sword here because I need it. I'm gonna take your sword and I'm gonna become a knight. And like he's like devoting himself to the dead knight. And then it cuts to him like standing behind the tree that's right there taking a shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I think there's only 2 episodes out right now, but
yeah.
Second episode is it shows the knight being a knight, and like he walks out from, like, he's sleeping with some chick, and he walks outside to take a piss, and he's got this fucking hammer, just like...
That's something Scott was telling me too. He's just got this fucking massive root.
Yeah. I was just like, whoa!
Babe, don't watch.
Yeah, you
cover your eyes.
This show. Well, he's like fucking 70 years old, walks out with this fucking hog hanging from his waist.
That's fucking funny.
Pretty funny. Like, super unexpectedly, it was funny laughing at this guy with the huge wiener.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I'll probably watch that tonight. There's a new Mike Flanagan show on Netflix too that I need to watch. I'll have to prioritize. You know who he is?
He's a comic?
No, he does. He writes all those like spooky shows on Netflix. So Midnight Mass, Follow the House of Usher. All those shows are bangers. Like House of Blind Manor is kind of boring, but all the other ones are really good.
Yeah. Follow
the House of Usher is like, in terms of a miniseries, there's Chernobyl, and then there's that.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I watched that one night, trying to stay up for graveyards. I started watching it at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I watched the whole series until like 5 o'clock in the morning. I went to sleep. And then a couple months later, I was telling Carrie she needs to watch it. came down and she was like, had started it, and then I sat there. She fell asleep like after third episode, and I watched the whole series again. Like, great series.
I think I've seen that series like 5 times all the way through.
Yeah.
It's just that good.
Yeah.
It's that rewatchable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to check those out, man.
What's it called? The new one?
I think it's called Renegade, but I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I just saw it on there like a week or 2 ago, but I had homework to do for Arizona,
Yeah.
so we'll see. Anyway, I think we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Good little freestyle. Haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. I think we went in a lot of different directions.
And along the way, I'm sure we solved something.
Something. We'll have to rewatch it and see if we caught any more paranormal activity or if we solved anything, but put it in the can, dude.
Put it in the can. Doctor?
Doctor.
Later, Tater.
Bye.